Hey everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. It's W-O-R-I-M-I, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides in the universal energies. Right, after that last reading, I had to go out and get some sun and peer at my garden. Okay, what I want to have a quick look at in this particular reading is what's happening in Europe at the moment. So, yeah, treason, betrayal, heartbreak, loss, despair, you name it. Apparently, over the weekend, three Ruski jets violated Estonian airspace for a period of 12 minutes. So it wasn't like a oops, whoops, let's get out of here again. They were there quite deliberately. And I believe Italian fighters, Italian, Swedish, and Finnish fighters scrambled, perhaps. Maybe I've got that wrong. I've just noted down Italian fighters scrambled, and then I've written Sweden, Finland. Oh, he's threatening. It's very much threatening Sweden and Finland. Last week there were drones over Poland. The Polish Prime Minister Tusk, not the installed orange twerp friend President Carroll, who won by 0.5% in some pretty dodgy elections where it went to the Polish Supreme Court, where 70% of polling booth countings were wrong. Okay. Um, but apparently the Polish PM Tusk has closed the border between Poland and Belarus, which means shipping that comes from China, part of China's roads and belts policy, instead of shipping the long way around or through the canals, the Suez and the Panama canals. It was shipping via trains overland, which is more efficient to be honest, but shipping overland through Belarus. Well, Tusk has closed the Belarusian border with Poland due to its affiliation with the Kremlin, and currently Belarus and the Kremlin are having war games, and there are several US military officers over there viewing and getting involved. So that means shipping from China into the EU is basically being strangled off. Apparently there's a lot of Russian propaganda happening in Finland at the moment. There have been massive attacks on Ukraine via drones and missiles, with the population being the target, and it is very much a fear campaign. The Kremlin is, there's sneaks disappearing up the hallway. The Kremlin is claiming that they were aiming for military targets, which we know is absolute BS, because one does not hit a apartment block if you're aiming for a oil refinery or something. Oh, Netanyahu's also come out in, absolutely losing his bananas over bananas, biscuits, whatever they are, over Australia, the UK and Canada acknowledging the Palestinian state. And apparently, I believe Portugal has joined that as well, as we're going into the UN meetings. But entertainment, not the EU, the UN meetings, and I did a reading on that, that they might grow a tooth from their toothless tiger, might actually grow the first vertebrae in a spine. But I want to have a look at, well, I just want to have a look. I'm using the Gilded Tarot Royale. I'm really getting that the reason for these incursions, there's no whoops about them. The reason for the incursions is to try and trigger a response from any of the NATO partners. Now, those that are associated with NATO, those that are associated with NATO in the EU are not easily fooled. And what I was getting when I was thinking about this, and I'll tell you what I just got. What I got when I've been thinking about this over the weekend is that the 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 Kremlin is trying to trigger a shooting down or something like that of a fighter jet or something to not only say, oh, you attacked, we're the victim, etc., for the sake of their own population, but to justify action that happens thereafter. And if it does happen, I would not be surprised if the Orange Twerp rules by public decree, because that's what he does. There is no three branches of government in the US. It's basically the Orange Twerp ruling and the Supreme Court in the shadow docket. Now, the shadow docket means the Supreme Court doesn't actually have to be transparent, doesn't have to give reasons for rulings, etc. So basically, ruling by decree with the support of the shadow docket of the Supreme Court means the judicial and the legislative arms of government are basically irrelevant in this current regime. So what would happen then is a decree would come out stating either removing the US from NATO, because how dare they attack without provocation, and or making a declaration of being at war, and therefore he becomes a wartime president, which means, again, ruling by decree. But what I just got in regards to the aha, and they've just taken it away from me. What was that aha that you guys gave me? What was the aha that you gave me? Oh, it was the Orange Twerp's rulings. Okay. So let's have a look at slightly bigger version. Let's see where this goes of why. Okay, they're telling me to do a 9 box, like what Denise Knight does. I might need some more room for that, so I'll just move you back ever so slightly. Why is, to get a bigger picture of it, why is the Kremlin, why are these incursions happening? Right. Ten of Pentacles, money, oligarchical money, money running out. Let's see where this goes. Disappointment in what was on offer. The Moon, lunacy, hidden secrets. Let's see where this goes. Four of Pentacles, insecurity, desperately trying to hold on. Nightmare situation, well, we know this, and loss. I'm going to move you up slightly. I don't know whether these will fit or not. This is something new for me. Might have to overlap them. Here's the military, the death, ending. Now, I read last week, was it last week, week before, about some really top military leader being taken out, and we haven't seen the top general from Russia and cast out in the cold. Oh, these are terrible cards. I'm just going to say, these are terrible cards. An expectation of an offer that's not coming forward. The Kremlin's not getting what they were promised. They have secrets to reveal. Financial secrets, physical secrets, flesh secrets, and they will reveal them. If they don't get what they were promised, and I think it was money, because you've got the snouts in the trough, or the rats in the trough. The military being stopped, cast out in the cold. Let's see where this goes. Walking away. Somebody's walking away from an obligation that they had with the Kremlin. Because here's the partnership card, walking away. 3 cards spilt, 3 cups spilt, 3 cups spilt. The loss. This is also the eclipse. We are in eclipse season at the moment. I think the solar eclipse is happening today, actually, which is when revelations do come out, get exposed. So walking away from an agreement here. Circles of support and 2 3s, the dark money behind the scenes. So walking away from the support, 3 cups, 3 cups, 3 cups down, 3 cups down. The dark money, the arrangement for dark money. Let's see where this goes. Restricted and an unexpected announcement. The military being restricted, something being brought to an end as basically the money runs out. And then we have an unexpected announcement, an offer coming forward. Oh, and on the bottom, there's Russia. Russia itself. So why have they done this? Because, I'll just put that there. Put that there. Why are they doing this? Because somebody has not come through with what they promised. Financially, potentially, I'm just going to say financially, this card being in the middle. Might also be pressure from the oligarchs, which is basically grinding the military to a standstill, a halt, as the money runs out. And then we have this unexpected offer. Okay, I am going to keep going. I'll just put that there for the moment because I can fit in another layer on the outside. Right, you've got the King of Pentacles, the Felon, the Four of Wands, this partnership entrapped by the messaging, the Wheel of Fortune turning, and things being revealed. Could also be to do with young girls that are now women being revealed. Shining a light on the snake in the path. And Queen of Pentacles, the healing and protection. Now, Denise is going to absolutely slaughter me because I'm doing this so completely wrong. But I'm more of a storyteller in regards to Queen of Pentacles. Homeland security, protection, nurturing, an offer being made. Shining a light on the snake in the path as the military has this restriction on it that brings an ending. This might be a money ceasefire and talks about money. But you've got here the orange twerp. He's walking away. He's walked away from this agreement. He's going to find himself trapped when there's information going to be released. He's going to find himself trapped. If I do I was going to say the knighting that Denise does is, the money trough, walking away. The agreement was, it's now restricted, and there is an unexpected announcement coming out. But I'm more of a storyteller, so I'm sort of more going from the center but across. So, and just what is around cards, walking away from this agreement of funneling money in. The wheel is turned and something is going to be fully exposed. Okay. Nightmare situation with the loss that is going on. I'm asking from, the fact that this is Russia, not Ukraine. I mean, it is the raining down missiles are a nightmare, and it does lead to loss, but this is more the financial nightmare and the disappointment and loss. As the 3 cups are spilt, 3 cups are now spilt, 3 cups are now spilt. There's all these 3 cups here, as the agreement is not being followed through. Secrets, the threat of secrets being revealed. Full moon, full moon. The only 2 eclipse cards in the deck right here on either side of not liking what is being offered. A felon. Wow. Abandonment, cast out, the military, the death card right in the middle there. Investigation into the snake in the path in the face of this restriction. These are, okay. Let me put these back together, and that was revealing. Let's have a look. Because we've got a lot of distractions going on at the moment with the orange twerk. I don't know that he's actually taking any notice of his good old mates at the Kremlin. So show me, just in a traditional extended Celtic cross, why is Russia, on that one, doing these excursions and stop there into, right, judgment moment, collective awakening, big wake up call here. On the defensive against, got their, because their backs up are up against the window. Don't be falling out of a window. Wouldn't be surprised if this top military dude falls out of a window. But yeah, judgment card, being judged, back up against the window. At the foundation, you've got the unity of the rest of the world, or most of the rest of the world, but unity. Now, words come out too that the orange twerp was claiming a 3rd Venezuelan boat taken out, and the fact that the military is strong enough to actually board these boats. They choose not to, they just choose to blow them out of the water, remembering that a lot of the outer islands in that area rely on food being transported to them by boat and fishermen, etc. I believe, I haven't looked into this, this is just something that someone mentioned to me, that the Kremlin has come out and said if the US puts boots on the ground in Venezuela, they will defend. They will join Venezuela to defend it. Okay, in the past, some sort of big announcement being made in the past. Big stick moment, plan, new plan, big plan. Okay, so a plan, thank you, a plan. Because they've got their back up against the wall, against the unity of the rest of the world. The Knight of Wands, volatile action being taken, explosive action being taken to try and rebalance with the Temperance card, to try and rebalance the odds. Why are they doing this? Smoke and mirrors, emotional warfare. Smoke and mirrors, poor choices, power, greed, and that's externally and internally. Well, first of all, the economy has gone through the floor. It can't be covered up through smoke and mirrors anymore. We've got the 7 of Pentacles, but also the inability to gain ground. Bogged down. Illusion, delusion of power. Smoke and mirrors, smoke and mirrors, smoke and mirrors. on this with the emotions here. Tower moment, because the outcome, Russia is on the brink of collapse, desperate for money, and they have secrets that they are threatening to expose with that Four of Wands about the King of Pentacles. So wealthy individuals, King of Cups, and the Seven of Swords, betrayal and stealing. I don't know who is this King of Cups? Stealing, betraying. Be careful what you wish for in this threat of abuse of power, because we've got the Eight of Cups walking away, and we've got the Five of Cups being outcast. Why are they doing this? Because they are on the brink of collapse. Okay. I want to ask, is the Kremlin threatening? It's not just the orange twerp. Is the Kremlin threatening to release documents on? I think that's a yes. They have documents they're holding on to that they are willing to use, with that Four of Pentacles and Seven of Swords. That's pretty much a threat. So, is the Kremlin threatening moneyed individuals around the world to pay up? It's not just the orange twerp. Is the Kremlin, because they're desperate for money, is the Kremlin threatening to pay? Threatening wealthy individuals to pay up? Well, there's the coffers again. This is oligarchs, oligarchical money. But there's the rat is in amongst them. Yeah. Because the money's run out. The Six of Pentacles. They will grasp at anything, the Kremlin. Desperate to get on the bottom, the Tower, because it is on the brink of collapse. I would say yes, they are. Give us your money. At the foundation, we've got the King of Swords, a strategy that has been put into play. Can also be my ICC card, but it feels more like a strategy action in the past. Be careful what you wish for, but the Nine of Cups, the rat pooping in the cup up there in the rafters. Just be careful what you emotionally wish for. Crowning this reading, the Knight of Swords, a rash action, some sort of declaration being made here, surrounded by the valley and hills. So, it's semi-secret. An emotional cleansing, being seen. You've got here the goldfish, and goldfish are a sign of wealth. The immediate future, a new partnership. Oh gosh, okay, thank you. Some wealthy new partnership that's going to be seen for what it is. It's a betrayal, a win at all costs, a self-sabotage or a sabotage incident where they don't care who they take down. Eight of Wands, a lot of messaging flying around. Why am I getting a draw to Telegram? I read on Telegram last week. A lot of messaging flying around the airways here about abuse, betrayal, deceit, win at any cost, threat to sabotage. The outcome, Two of Wands. Sorry, the hopes and fears, Two of Wands. The individuals are being given a choice about which path to take, but the outcome, I don't think they're going to get what they want. Four of Cups, Seven of Swords, Seven of Wands on the back foot, having to defend. Three of Wands, help arriving from overseas perhaps, but then you've got the Justice card and the Devil. Actions having consequences for this Devil energy. You've got the Tower, you've got the wheel turning, and you've got the oligarchs themselves. Liking their life of luxury, the Four of Swords. Could be the death of a someone of prominence here, or just being forced to go into hiding. They like their luxury. They don't want any part of this. However, you've got secrets from the past getting revealed that just turn into a nightmare on the world stage. You've got the Fool and you've got the Sun card. Yeah, I think there are certain moneyed persons that are being threatened by the Kremlin to pay up, otherwise secrets will be released. Okay. Secrets being released. I am just going to say now would be a really good time to take a deep breath, go out in the sun, because what it feels like is we've got this clash of the titans about to happen. It's not our fight. Stay out of it. Watch from the sidelines. Be aware, but don't immerse. Entertainment only. Heavy energy today. Okay. Love to you all. Catch you shortly.